Hi, I'm Peter,
And I'm Will,
and you're watching Anderson Jazz Jams.
episode number 11.
We want to thank our Patreons for donating as little as $1 a month, and you can find the link in the description below.
This week we're going to play a song composed by the great pianist and composer Horace Silver entitled The Preacher.
This week on Technique Tips, we're going to talk about keeping good posture when you're playing your instrument. And this is going to help a lot of things, including your hand position, the way you're able to breathe and produce a good sound on the horn.
With my students, I encourage them to stand as often as possible when they practice and perform, because generally if you're standing, it kind of forces you to keep your back straight and tuck your tail, as they say, to keep kind of a taller, more comfortable posture. But in this case, and a lot of times when you play, you kind of have to be sitting. The first thing that I'd like to talk about with posture is the shoulders. And one of my teachers told me a saying is that you want your ears and your shoulders to be enemies. You want to keep your ears and your shoulders kind of as far apart as possible. And what that does is forces you to relax your shoulders completely. So instead of keeping them up here, keep them as low as possible. And this kind of extends to relaxing your arms. It really relaxes everything from my neck to my shoulders, my chest, and my arms. So
this week on Improve Your Improv, we're going to talk about the minor 6th chord. Your minor 7 chord and your minor 6th chord are very different. Very often beginners look at these and they kind of think they're very similar, but a minor 6th chord or just a plain minor chord means that you're in the home key, say of G minor. Now if you see a minor 7 chord, most often in your 2-5-1, a G minor 7 will be leaning towards a C7, which will resolve to F.
So for example, if you have a song like George Gershwin's Summertime, say it's in the key of D minor concert, right in the beginning of the song, you would never play a D minor 7. Like my brother mentioned, a minor 7 chord, it functions as kind of a sus chord that is a minor 7 resolving to the G7 and then resolving to a C major. If you're in a home key of a minor key, like in Summertime, you really want to use the minor 6 sound.
This week on Things You Don't Learn in Music School, we're going to talk about counting off a tune. Now last week we talked about ending a tune, and counting off is just as important. The audience really remembers two things about a song, the beginning and the end. because jazz is dance music, you really need to get the rhythm section into the tempo that you're playing. So I always start out by snapping on 2 and 4 for a number of seconds.
4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2.
Maybe snap like this for about 15 seconds so the ensemble can know the tempo that you're going to start in. And then I count 2 bars so they're prepared for it. 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. As if the song starts off with a slightly rocky start and all the musicians can't feel the tempo very strongly, it's going to be tough to keep going and improve it from there. This week on Jazz Hangouts, we're going to talk about Dizzy's Club Coca-Cola in New York City. And Dizzy's Club is part of Jazz at Lincoln Center. And when you take the elevators up and you go to Dizzy's, it's incredible because it's a part of all these other different venues like Rose Hall and the Appel Room. You're kind of among all these other great jazz facilities, which is really special about Dizzy's. So it's located right on Columbus Circle in Manhattan, inside what they call the Time Warner Building, which is just on the corner of Central Park. It's on the southwest corner. So when you look outside the windows at Dizzy's Club, you can essentially see the top of Central Park, which is really beautiful. And sometimes it's so pretty it even distracts from the music. But my brother and I have gotten to play there quite a bit and seen so many of our heroes there, from the pianist Hank Jones, Frank West, Freddie Cole, just so many great musicians. So we really recommend that you check out Dizzy's Club. Okay, now we're going to head on over to Patreon to make our Patreon Plus videos. And if you give as little as $1 a month, you can unlock all these behind the scenes videos. So we'll be back in a minute. This week on Lick of the Week, we're going to talk about a Charlie Parker lick that Bird kind of made into his own, and it's become kind of a cliche for a lot of jazz musicians to learn. We really recommend taking all these licks through the keys, because you never know if you go to a gig what keys you're going to be playing in. You might be in F, you might be in B flat or D minor, and you really want to be prepared that your vocabulary can translate to all different keys.
And the thing about Charlie Parker is a lot of his lines and his phrases start on different parts of the measure. He starts on the and of 3, the and of 2. Sometimes learning his phrases can be a little bit difficult. Just to be clear, I'm going to play this one more time, and my brother is going to count off because the lick starts on the and of 3.
A 1, 2, 3. This week on Cats You Should Know, we're going to talk about a great vibraphonist and composer named Kyle Athayde. He wrote us 2 pieces. We commissioned him to compose these pieces specifically for us. One is Appalachian Mountain Song, and the other is Reed Reflections. Kyle comes from the San Francisco Bay Area in California, and he attended the Juilliard School. He's transcribed and arranged pieces for some of the top musical ensembles and orchestras all over the place at the University of Scranton. He's written pieces for the Dizzy Gillespie Alumni Big Band. He has a big band called the Kyle Athayde Dance Party that plays in the New York area and elsewhere. My brother and I are members in it, and recently we did a performance about Duke Ellington's music, and it featured Rob Capello, who's a great communicator, and it featured Kyle's band. We want to encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, give us a thumbs up or perhaps a comment below. We'd also love if some of you would send in some videos of you playing or a comment or a question. We just love doing these shows every week on Anderson Jazz Jams. We want to thank our Patreons for supporting.
We're about to embark on a month-long tour all the way across the country. We're driving to Phoenix and back and playing everywhere in between, and we'll also be playing at Birdland Jazz Club on May 26th, so check that out, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks for watching Anderson Jazz Jams.